Today I would like to show you guys my propagation box. I actually have a lot, but I'm gonna pick 3 of them to show you today. So the first one, this is actually a container from IKEA. It has a hole over here at the top, so I used the tape to cover that to retain a little bit more moisture. And I have the second one, which is actually a dessert box. I find it really useful too. You will see there are a lot of varieties in my propagation box. These two are Hoyas. There is string of turtles, string of hearts. There are also actually, this one is the Alocasia fried egg. And there is even, I think this is a moonlight, skin depth says moonlight. So literally I throw in anything that I want to propagate. Like spread them around this box. Make sure to retain the moisture in the sphagnum moss under, and then you basically open the box once a week, spray with more water, and put it in a bright spot of your house next to the window, and you will notice in a month or two those cuttings will start to root. This is another one. It's actually the Dollarama medicine box you can use, storage box, and in there they are all the cuttings. Actually, they are all string of turtle cuttings. This one is already very long. You can see it's hanging there because these are all the new growth. They are all actually new. So I was trying to pull them out, but I think they are rooted, so not easy. You need to be gentle when you are trying to pull them out. So any of these containers works well for me as long as they are transparent, or at least semi-transparent. It wouldn't work if it's dark. So, and it doesn't have to be 100% seal. Like this one is not. You just put the lid on, but it's actually not 100%, but it's already enough for the rooting, for the cuttings. I wanna show you the bottom of this box. You can see there are white roots, right? So these are actually already the cuttings that has rooted very well. For example, this is the Cebu cutting. The roots are already pretty long. It's actually ready to be planted in the soil. When I put this in, it actually looks like this. It's actually a stem without a leaf, and it has a node. Then after like 2-3 months, it actually grows to a plant. So what I do with using the sphagnum moss is when the cutting or the node, it's an empty node, there isn't a leaf, it's gonna be very difficult if I stuck this into the soil or other medium. I just cannot see if it's growing or not. And also it's very hard for me to maintain and see if there is enough moisture, a lot of care. So, but with this propagation box with sphagnum moss, I just never really have headaches or trying to monitor them almost every few days. You can just forget about this box actually for 2-3 weeks. whenever you remember, you spray some water and keep the moisture, put the lid back, and that's it. Put it in a bright spot. It doesn't require a lot of maintenance. And another type of plant I really like to use the sphagnum moss to propagate is, for example, the string of hearts. All the strings that has really small leaves, I tend to use moss more than the others because it's just like very hard to find the roots. Their roots are so delicate. So all the fine roots, I find it's easily broken if I use other medium, or the medium will be too big for them. It's just not growing well. So any type of small leaves, Hoyas, string of hearts, varieties, and even skin dapses or philodendrons that has empty nodes without leaves, I think this is the best medium I have been using. So literally how you use it is when you buy those moss from the store, it's dry. And I usually bring them in, put them in the warm water for about 30 minutes to make it take the moisture, and then you squeeze out the water after 30 minutes. Don't squeeze like super hard, but also don't let it like dripping water a lot, so it's like in between. And then you put them layer down in a container, and then you put the cuttings that you want. So that's it. I hope you learn a new propagation method.